Malloy here for another segment of our video blog for Seacoast Weddings. I thought today we would talk a bit about wedding flowers because they're sort of basic needs you would want for your wedding, but then there are a number of different places that you could sort of enhance your flowers, and also depending on the venue where you're getting married, there may be other places that you could put floral. So let's start with the basics. You usually need personal flowers to get married, which would be boutonnieres, corsages, bouquets. If you have a wedding party, you would need bridesmaids bouquets and grooms and boutonnieres. Those can sort of range in scale and size. I usually ask the clients, how tall are you? Are you looking for something smaller in scale or larger in scale? So that you can make sure that you don't look super awkward in photos because, you're this big and this tall and you have a bouquet that's this little, or opposites and you just have a giant bouquet that you can't see yourself in. You want to make sure that it fits the scale. So it's a question we definitely ask. Then you move from personal flowers into ceremony flowers. So most people will have a floral arrangement that's pretty large in scale at the altar or outside in the ceremony space. Some people use arbors. Some people use four-posted structures called chuppahs. Sometimes you'll have two pieces on either side of you. This depends on what your backdrop is. If you're outside at the ocean, you might not want something giant covering the view because it's gorgeous. But if you're inside a hotel because of maybe a weather reason, or just because that's where you decided to get married, and you have, tall ceilings but sort of a simple background, that might be a better opportunity for you to spend a bit more and do a larger arbor or larger two pieces on either side of you for altar arrangements. People then add aisle adornments. Sometimes it's just to demark where reserved seating is happening. There are sometimes aisle runners that are covered in petals. Some people will even do smaller entrance arrangements to your ceremony. The nice thing about ceremony flowers is as long as you have a venue coordinator who's willing to do it, or an event designer or florist who is staying throughout the space, reuse those. Bring them into entrance arrangements for your reception, entrance arrangements into your tent. Maybe if the altar arrangements are small enough, you can put them maybe on the head table. Use your bouquets over again, put them in water. Definitely hydrate them. Keeping them on the ground will not last for too long, or on a cake table. Put them in a vase. Those can be used at your head table, at your cake table, or your bars as well, maybe even your buffets. Then you move into cocktail hour flowers. That can be a place where you don't go significantly crazy, but you might want a small 3 or 4 inch vase for your cocktail tables. You might want arrangements for your bar. A stationary hors d'oeuvres arrangement's a good idea. And we like to do sort of a statement piece, which tends to be the place card table, where it's something that comes in and brings in all the aspects of the color or the style of your wedding, and it's the first thing people see when they come into the reception after the ceremony. And then you finish off in your reception space. That might be centerpieces that are tall if you have a wedding that's sort of more formal, or short if you have sightline issues and you have long tables where you can do multiple small vases versus one sort of substantial size vase in the middle of a round table. Again, anything from your cocktail hour that can be reused. If you want to save a bit on your budget, you can take your bar arrangements from your cocktail hour and bring them into your reception if that's applicable. But that gives you a pretty good sense of the areas in which you can have flowers for your wedding.